Yeah. Hello?
All right, there we go. Ben's fired up. Let's do this.
Nah, dude. Let me turn your thing down a little more. You're always so loud.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm too loud. I'm too loud, everybody.
Oh, you're very loud. Let me tell you, in that truck sometimes when you're talking on your phone,
Yeah.
I get a fucking headache from how loud you're fucking yelling for your conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just fucking, it's like what? Like an ice pick in my fucking ear.
I have no inner
It's
voice.
sharp, man. It's sharp fucking loud fucking noises.
Oh, Jesus.
It's oppressive.
So I just got back from Orlando.
Wait.
Whoa.
Let's circle back around. You're like, well, why are you saying this now? Why don't you say it on the podcast?
Oh, yeah. We definitely.
You message me. I message you back. You message, I'm coming over now. 15 minutes earlier than you said you were, which God bless. Early's on time.
Yeah.
On time's late. Late is you're fired.
Yeah.
But I messaged you right after you sent that message.
You
said,
did.
I'm on the shitter. Take your time. I even rushed to fucking get out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was like 2 minutes after I sent that, and I'm looking at you standing there.
In the doorway looking at the message going, oh, you guess
And I'm like, dude, every time you're on the messenger, unless you're like literally jump into a conversation that you want to engage in, you are this like hit and run fuck. You send a message, like this message, or something else,
and then I close the browser,
and then you fuck off. It's like, dude, you just messaged someone. Shouldn't you stick around to, like, hear someone might reply to you?
I'm the guy who knocks on your door and runs.
Yeah, well, let's not say what that's called. But
I didn't.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I haven't bleeped anyone in a good 24 hours yet. That you'll send a message, and sometimes it's even like a question or part of like a longer like thing that needs to be discussed, and then you fuck off. You like close. It's like you throw your phone in a Faraday cage, underwater, out of service, and I'm like, what the fuck? I reply, and you're gone for 20, 30 minutes, and then you pop back in, and by then it's on to something else.
The truth, Ben, is that 50% of the time, I just
retarded all the time.
I just forget.
The second you fucking send a message,
I just forget.
Oh, it's
like you know how many times I post something on the thread, and then like an hour later I'm like, I wonder if anyone ever got to that.
It's annoying as fuck because we all were like reply to you, and then we're expecting he started this
some acknowledgement or something.
Dude, you start like these conversations, and then it's like this. You start and end a conversation with one sentence.
I'm a selfish asshole. I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, that's not for me to judge. We should have some guests in here to verify that. But
they'll all say the same thing, man.
I swear to God, sometimes I just want to like dick punch you for this shit because it's like how does he say like I'm not gonna even come up with a good example now. I'm too fired up, but I'm shaking. I'm so mad over like everything. Not over this, but other stuff. I'll talk about that too. Yeah. But bionic ears in the other room. But
coming in hot today. I love it. I love it, man.
I'm angry. I feel like we didn't have enough energy in the last couple of podcasts.
Oh fuck no.
The
last podcast was us just doing it. That was just going through the motions.
We were trying to fuck a girl without an erection.
Yeah.
It was like fucking marshmallow into a piggy bank. It wasn't happening.
It definitely wasn't. And
I apologize.
Yeah,
for
I
that.
apologize as well because that was not even D effort.
No, that was the level of effort I reserved for work. Yeah. My minimal effort, Ben, should not be around after hours.
That was you completed the mission, but you didn't really do anything.
Like, how did you go through the whole level and score no points?
Well,
hold on.
Oh, okay.
We're not done yet. God damn it!
Oh, no.
This is you coming back to do another conversation, not realizing that the old one's still sitting there.
And I'm hyped up on it's
two
monsters.
All your fucking messages.
Shit, I didn't even bring a monster with me.
I don't care. I don't care. This is how mad I am. You can if the podcast starts winding down and you become low energy Marco, we'll know that.
I just came from driving like 95, 100 miles an hour all the way from Orlando, so I'm good. I'm wired right now.
Oh, you came back this morning?
Yeah.
I didn't hold on.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I feel it derailing. I feel us going on tangents, and I'm holding on. I'm hanging on.
You finish your thoughts.
So, Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. No. So, oh man, I forgot. Anyway, the other thing I was angry about was that this morning. Like, listen, look. People have different schedules, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to hear it at like 9:30, 10 o'clock when I'm like up and about and I'm like watching TikTok. And I'm not, it's not like I'm blasting it. It's just normal level. And I'm getting messages from my roommate. Hey, I can hear something screaming out there. Can you turn it? I'm like, fucking bionic ears. Like play some fucking whale music or something in there. Because it's fucking human hours, okay? I'm going to exist in my fucking, I pay half the rent. It's human hours. I'm going to exist here.
Yeah.
I don't complain that this guy's up till 5 a.m. watching TV and fucking randomly cooking freshly meals or whatever the fuck he's got at 2 a.m. and I'm smelling it and waking. I never say a fucking word.
Yeah.
Every now and then I will turn the volume down before I go to bed, or I'll message him. But it's like fucking, it's midnight. It's like
normal.
I'm sorry,
hours,
like I'm sorry you function in a fucking world that everyone else doesn't function in.
He's a vampire.
But 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock are like really the activity hours.
Yeah.
Even like the apartment in general observes those. And it's like, don't go complaining about your neighbors if like between, 9 on a Sunday and fucking and 11, they're fucking doing shit. I don't know. So whatever. So it got me in a mood. And then you fucking showed up halfway through my turd. And then, I don't even know what else I was upset about today. It's all gone by the wayside by more recent stuff. So you went to Orlando.
I went to Orlando.
I love it because I even went on a rant about this to someone about you're not one of these, even though you would like to be one of these like pass holder. I can go every weekend. I love Disney. Fucking,
yeah.
I hate those people.
So
I kind of hate. I have a little hate for you, but this was told Anthony. I said, there was this person. I don't know who followed her on TikTok, but I unfollowed her because all she does every week is post about going to Disney. And I'm like, obnoxious. You're fucking 30-something years old. Yeah. Beside the fact that this girl has history with us in terms of maybe some parking lot gibbers with people at wrestling shows. But look at your face. It's like, I dropped that on you. But you were ready for that.
Yeah. But, I got a list of the top 5 suspects in my head.
Okay. I won't tell you whose gibber it was or where.
Although I pretty much know who it is.
I know. So I'm like,
there's 2 infamous examples that we.
So it's a good segue because I had just finished complaining about somebody that does this. They're like, oh, Disney's my life. Every picture's got me with Mickey ears, and oh, look at me, I'm at Disney again, and oh, it's Tuesday, must be at Disney, and that kind of shit. Like fuck off. You're an adult.
So I have been a Disney fanatic most of my life. I was an annual pass holder up until about a year ago. We decided to skip 2020, not for the reasons that everyone else has skipped 2020 for. Just my favorite park is Epcot. There's a huge renovation going on. It's just like it's a good year to like sit back and like just let them do their thing. And when all those projects are finished, we'll get our passes back, kind of thing. But I've never been the
Epcot at least does adult stuff. Food and wine thing.
Yeah, and I've never been like especially since I became a fully formed adult. I've never been the guy that's just like, oh, Disney. No, man, I love Disney, and I could talk your ear off for hours about Disney, but you don't want to hear that shit, so we don't talk about it.
Oh, like, if I still had my Disney stock, I'd be like, yeah, go fucking spend more money, you jackass. I sold that shit a long time ago.
So the last time that the wife and I had really taken a vacation was February for our anniversary, and we have Universal passes because they're cheap as fuck, and we had been doing Disney for so long, Universal was fresh and new. Every couple of years, you just kind of have to like step back, and like we'll probably when we have Disney passes, we'll let Universal slide for a year or two because quite honestly, Universal's kind of small, and after a few weekends, you're like, all right, like. What's next kind of thing. You get bored. Pretty easy at Universal. Disney's always got something. But anyway. Again. But when I like cost it out, I was like, man, I don't want to spend this much money just to go out for like 2 days. And like, let's just go for a day. Because we both have wanted to go to a park and get away. So we were just going to go for the day. We ended up staying overnight because my friend Dave was like, hey, just hang out for the night. You can stay at our guest room. And I did that. So it was fine. That was fine. It was probably better off that I not try the drive at like 2 in the morning, hyped up on Red Bull and shit. I could make the drive, but there would be at least a 20-minute portion of that drive, which would be some level of perilous.
If you stayed 2 days, you'd be doing that night drive the day before
yeah.
work. And
there's a lot going on today anyway, so I really...
You know what? As much of a Disney fanatic you and your wife are, you need to respect the season. And it's football season. Yeah. And you got to be fucking home for the Dolphin games.
And I am.
You don't fuck around with that. You don't go, watch it at a bar in Orlando. Yeah. None of that crap. No.
No, and especially after that Thursday night game, I'm really interested to see what Miami does against Seattle today. I'm not expecting a whole lot, so I can be surprised easily. But anyway, and I didn't know about going into the parks. Now I have some YouTubers that they go through the parks, they update you on construction, they update you on menus and stuff like that. And I like that kind of stuff because it lets me know, like, okay, this is what I'm walking into. And since our wonderful governor decided to basically reopen Florida on phase 3, just because I guess he fucking touches himself to the thought of Donald Trump. Well, he is. He's very, 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 very Republican, and he wants to make his party look good, so he decided to open up the fucking state. Bro, it was packed yesterday.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you bring COVID into my home?
No, I did not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Because what you're describing already, I'm picturing the White House party that got like 18 people sick.
Because of my wife, I absolutely did not. She became the
mask Nazi?
COVID Nazi when we got in that park, like grabbing my hand, pulling me back from people. Like, I was nothing but a leashed animal in the park.
You shit on the grass like a good boy.
Yeah, she was like, no, stop, no, just all the time. And finally, I was like, I don't want to fight with you at Universal, so you've won this. You
should just secretly run the camera to catch all that.
Oh my goodness. I was like, you're paranoid, but no. Let me tell you something. So, all the videos, everything I've seen, I was like, oh, okay, it's even on a busy day, it's not that bad. Man, people are fucking animals, Ben. They just are animals. I mean, first off, Universal, from my experience, did everything they could to provide a safe environment if you did choose to go to City Walk in the parks. However, you never can count on the quality of the people that go through those doors, which is, as we always know, low. I mean, dude, it's people just disrupt. Look, if you don't want to wear a mask, if you were one of those people, first off, just don't go.
How do you go to Disney with your eyes that willfully shut?
I have never.
And not realize I have to wear it. I'm making a decision to pay $200 whatever to wear a mask for fucking whatever 14, 16 hours in the fucking sun and humidity.
And no disrespect at all to the medical professionals and anybody who has to wear a mask throughout their day. Bro, having that mask on outside all day, bro, I'm not going back until they figure this out.
In our job.
Yeah.
When I put the mask on to go get the signatures on things. When I come back out, sometimes I forget to take the mask off and we'll go test the backflow.
Yeah.
And that's never even takes that long, like at most 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time we're done, sometimes I'm so uncomfortable. And I realize I fucking left my mask on. Yeah. 10 minutes in the fucking heat and humidity. I can't imagine you guys for hours and hours.
I would go and buy a snack just to justify taking the mask off for 2 seconds.
That sells me on that thing on the radio that guy keeps pitching all the time. It's like $100 mask.
Yeah.
But it has a little. It looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen Star Wars. Okay. In Empire, the medical droid that has the little. It has like, it looks like it's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a medical droid, so it's got to look like it's wearing a mask, even though it's all. That's a stupid Lucas.
Even though it's a fucking robot.
But it's got a tube that runs down from it to somewhere else. And this is the same thing. It's like a mask with a tube that runs to like a little box on that you clip to your hip.
Yeah.
And it runs a fan that pumps cool air, or I don't know if it's cool, but it pumps air into your mask. So you're like at an air conditioned space in your mask. I would buy one of those. If I was going to already waste like $500 going with my wife to Disney, I'd spring for 2 of those.
After spending a day, 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's just one of those things where, and I switched between, because Universal still allows the neck gaiters, and I switched between the neck gaiter and the mask, and it just, after long enough time, I'm like, dude, this isn't fun. I don't like this. And it's in watching people find ways to skirt rules and shit for dumb things.
Yeah.
For dumb things. You're
Yeah.
just like, I you know what? This, like,
And it's like, I understand, like, yeah, you're uncomfortable, you don't want to wear your mask, maybe you try and finagle it, but in that place, around that many people, is the dumbest time to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, man.
Like, if you're in fucking 7-Eleven and there's nobody else in the shop and you want to poke your nose out the top because you want to be able to breathe without, breathing your own recycled heated air, I get that. But in Disney,
yeah,
that's disgusting.
And you've got 80% of the people in that park are just like you and me. Hey, man, this is sort of dumb, but for everybody's safety, including my own, man, I'll wear a mask. I'll socially for 80% of the people in that park, we were all having experience in the same day, just trying to have as much fun as we could and just getting through it. And then there's that 10%, the 20% just fucking ruins everything. Like, they walk right behind you, like they walk past you without a mask, and you're like, I want to say something, but in this environment, I know exactly what's going to happen if I say something.
I'd have had 6 viral TikToks.
You would definitely.
I would have walked by. I would just walked around going mask, no mask, no mask, pissing people off.
People were doing that. People were doing that.
And people, if someone came up behind me and was up on my ass, man, I don't care about 6 feet. But if you got a mask on, at least give me some distance. Don't be like normal lines at old times at Disney.
Yeah, and Universal did a good job of having enough socially distant spots every 6 feet. The stores let certain flow in, had a certain count they needed to be in. They did a good job. It's just you can never count on the quality of the people, and it's unfortunately very low quality because it's Florida, and most of Florida is low quality people. So,
but is it locals or is it out of towners?
I didn't feel like there were a whole lot of tourists.
Probably not.
I feel as if DeSantis opened Florida, it's probably going to take about a month to really kind of... But there's... In Orlando, at Universal Studios Orlando, and especially Walt Disney World, tourism is 90% based off of foreigners. And there's no foreign travel going on right now to the United States, obviously. We were shut off from the rest of the world because we couldn't play ball and do things, halfway decently right. So they shut us off. So here's how the park felt. All the rides were at capacity for what they were, even with the virtual queues at like 90 minutes, 45 minutes. We rode one fucking ride. I didn't even care about riding rides. I just kind of wanted to be out and get away from South Florida for fucking 24 hours. So in that respect, it was fine. But the park felt like a normal day on a weekday pre-COVID. So it was like, oh, this isn't bad. I don't feel like I'm like suffocated, but I really can't do much because it's mostly vacationers from out of the country that come to Orlando for Universal Studios Florida and Walt Disney World, where they make their bread and butter. But now you got nothing but locals and state locals and people driving in to come because Florida's one of the only open states where you can come. So, you got the whole cavalcade of fucking Americans there. I didn't see a whole lot of outsiders, foreigners and vacationers. It was mostly Floridians. And because you've been one your whole life, you know what a Floridian looks like and smells like.
Calm down with like these name calling.
I'm sorry, I can't stand Florida. I don't need to get any further than that. If you're a Floridian, chances are you're half a piece of shit. I mean, we look in the mirror, we know what we see. But anyway, it was fine.
Jesus Christ.
It was fine. So and then we left at like 4:00. We tried to go do one of the 2 haunted houses, and we waited in a 45-minute virtual queue walking around the park, and then we got in the line, and that line was another like hour and a half, and I'm like, I ain't doing this shit. For the houses that have plexiglasses between you and the performers and everything is set up, so like you basically like I'm not a big haunted house guy to begin with, and I'm not really that big of a Halloween guy to begin with, but Halloween Horror Nights is fun, But if you know what the fuck is coming because the lights are on and all that shit because everyone has to be safe, I'm like, I'm not doing that. So we left the park. We went over to Disney Springs, and Disney does it a little differently than Universal, but I think it's a little safer. Where they temperature check you at they both temperature check you at the garages, and then you have to walk and get. Well, Disney Springs doesn't have security because it's just an open shopping center, but Universal's it was pretty tight. I can tell you that nobody with a fever is going in that park, and nobody, really fucking suspicious looking is going to make it into that area, sick or not. So you always feel pretty safe, and they did a good job. It fucking wouldn't rain all day. All it did was drizzle all fucking day. A light drizzle all day. I felt like I was in fucking like Portland, where all it did was just awful. Because like you would think in Florida, because of how hot it is, oh man, a nice overcast day with a little bit of sprinkles. That's about perfect. That's great. No, it was a fucking steady drizzle, like just enough to be fucking miserable all day, and that kind of made it suck. But it did feel good to get the fuck away from South Florida for 24 hours, and I wish I could have stayed, but unfortunately,
So was there any like actual in-person stupidity, or are we just not getting those types of stories out of you?
I didn't see any. I didn't see anyone go crazy. I didn't see. I saw one gentleman get asked several times to put his mask on. He was in a heated conversation on the phone, but he was like 30 feet away from everybody in a corner. And then when they asked him to put his mask on, he fucking, he was like, "But I'm so far away from everybody. What does it matter?" Kind of had a point. Like they're trying to do their job, but he's. That's the problem with how the United States has dealt with COVID.
I guess, but every rule can't be like subject to interpretation of the moment. It just can't be. A rule is a rule.
Yeah, and on that respect, in the park, if they ask you to keep your mask on, if you're not eating or drinking, keep your fucking mask on. Yeah, it sucks. But you made that decision when you walked out your front door that you were good. This was just something that you had to do.
Dude, I would milk a hot dog for 2 fucking hours.
People, dude, listen, man. I saw somebody, because Universal is just smaller than, and maybe it's because I've been there enough times where it's like, I didn't realize how small of a park it was. So you see the same people sometimes. I saw a dude with the same fucking, Coke bottle that had like a quarter of the soda left, and he had the shit open. I saw him 3 fucking times in a half hour. He would just have it up, and he wouldn't sip it. Like, he would go to sip it and then jump back into the conversation with his friends. I'm like, you fucking working son of a bitch. Like, you're going to make that last an hour and a half before somebody finally goes, all right, bro, you got to like.
And that's if the same person's watching you,
And they have plenty, because they have, like, barkers up on stands and stuff, helping people out. And they're constantly reminding you. So it was fun to get away. Do I have any crazy stories of people getting fucking hauled away and shit? Nah, man. I mean.
Well, that's boring.
It sucks because nothing really crazy happened, and then I think the craziest thing that happened was when I went to Disney Springs. I met up with my friend Dave and his roommate Nick, who you know as well, and Dave decided that we were going to the Coke store and bought. They sell flights of all the different sodas from around the world, and then he ordered float versions of those. And him and Nick started, like, mixing all the fucking flavors together. And we all, like, took these weird It was awful, Ben. My stomach is killing me. All that sugar and just the way. Anybody who's been
Are they retarded? I mean, like, have they... I mean...
Oh, it was so
I want to say
bad.
they are because I know them, but...
Oh, it hurt my stomach so much.
Why do you order all these different flavored things and then mix them together?
Well, we started by drinking them individually, but as like they got bored.
Oh, right, bad idea, Dave. Came out, and there we go.
Yeah, it's just it boredom really, like, and there's this infamous drink called Beverly. It's like this soda. I forgot where the fuck it's from, but it's awful. It tastes like fucking Drano. It's terrible. But like it's the big thing because it's so bad. So they've based alcoholic drinks off this thing, and Dave had like this big ass Beverly drink and shit. I don't know how he has lived after all the things he has put through his body.
That's like when he was here that one time, and there was like one of the I think one of the Johnny Walkers we had was like that terrible flavored one.
Oh yeah, and
he's making everyone drink it, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, if it's bad and nobody's enjoying it, stop fucking giving it away. You didn't buy that bottle, dude.
He finds so much.
I'm like, this is like somebody's shit. If
That-
you're gonna be,
Yeah.
wasting it, do it on your own time, dude.
But
I was like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Ugh.
that was so painful. That was because the Crohn's in me was like, nah, let's stop this. Whatever this is, you need to stop it right now.
I'm gonna shit your pants.
Because for those people that don't know, when you go to Disney, you get all the drinks around the world, and man, some of them are okay. Out of like I want to say 24 that we had, 5 or 6 of them were good, and then you had the 60% of that's like, all right, well, I'd never drink this again, but it didn't hurt. And then you have that last percentage of drinks that physically hurt you. I think that's their only intention. Like Beverly's only intention in the world is
maybe the
put you in
people
some
that
pain.
grew up drinking that
They're more hardcore
come and
than
enjoy
I could
it,
possibly imagine.
and they're like, that might be a draw for that park to be like, hey, we have something for out of towners to remind them of home. I don't know.
I mean, the kind of people that drink that shit are the kind of people that like the individual that charges $10,000 for a backflow test and then fails the motherfucker.
Oh.
Those kind of people. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's a little inside baseball. I don't think people understand
well.
our job too well.
It's a funny story because it has to. It's it's only funny to me. So okay, so we do backflow testing for a living, and currently, and right now, like I don't know, we charge like $64, $70 for a
I'd
backflow test, depending on
hardly call it a living.
It's what we do for our 9 to 5, our banker hour job.
Right.
And it's about $70, give or take where you're at, county wise. We were at the Trump Tower in Hollywood, and because there's a few Trump buildings, and this is I think the northernmost one. And we were there to give the repair quotes because they had a backflow tested, and that seemed weird to me because if you're a backflow technician and you fail a backflow and you give the repair quote, usually that happens, especially on a building which has an association that all day takes care of, and that's part of what your yearly maintenance costs and shit. So it's never really a big issue. So I always feel it's weird whenever we go on calls.
Those types of buildings always have generally have that's their vendor, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They have a deal. They've used that service for years. That's what it is.
And it's like, hey man, I'll cheapen you over here, but if I have to repair, you got to pay the full price. You have an understanding. So I always find it weird when we go back on people to do second quotes on stuff because I'm like, how did this get fucked up? We get to Trump Tower, and it's a nice enough building. This is probably Donald Trump has never set foot in this building.
I mean, I couldn't say whether it's a nice building or not. I was never in an area of the building.
True. They kept us in the fucking.
We were in stairwells and roofs.
They were nice stairwells and roofs
and elevators.
Yeah, very well.
We were in the
clean.
back corridors, like the back corridors of a mall.
Yeah.
We never were
It was
in.
clean.
We never bumped into an actual resident.
And I asked the guy, I'm like, so why are we getting a secondary quote on repairs? Because there's like 13 backflows on property. Like if we had tested those backflows, it would probably been around $1,300 worth of tests, maybe. So I'm like, I don't understand what we're even doing here, but whatever. It was what we had to do. And he goes, oh, because he gives us the history of the testing, and that's relevant. What is relevant is this year the company that tested the backflows charged them over $11,000 just for testing these backflows. And at first I thought he was just like, what? And I asked him, like, are you sure? He goes, yeah, about it was like 10-6 or something like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And my first thing about my mind was like, you pay me $10,000 to test a fucking backflow. I don't care if there's a dragon coming out of that motherfucker. I'm passing it. Just like, you win, brother. You win. Like, I always want to do a good, thorough job, and I'm always honest, but let's be honest. If you're paying that much for a service, you don't expect to hear the word, oh, it failed.
Yeah. That's a bribe. So
yeah. So it's just funny. It's just funny that in South Florida, I'm like, God damn, they used to report that guy for price gouging. Go to his house.
They probably just thought this is a big machine. It's just paper being passed over desks.
Yeah.
And Trump's name is on the building. So
Yeah,
let's just fucking gouge them.
Oh, they can afford it. Ooh,
God,
it was rough.
They'll never be used again.
No.
So
yeah, and then fucking I did like 100 all the way down here today this morning because I was just fuck it. Dude, I didn't even want to stay the night, but at 2 a.m. I was like, yeah, I'm not making that drive.
That sounds safe.
No, because I got a lot going on today, and I don't want to miss the Dolphins game. I'm actually looking forward to it.
You went out of town the one day. I was like, oh, I'd like to use the van. I was gonna go buy a freezer.
Oh shit,
off
man!
of Facebook, and I was like, oh, but I got no way to grab it.
Oh,
because you take the work van home, and I would have abused those privileges to go get a. Fuck it.
You should. Oh man.
Nah, it's good because it talked me out of spending money.
Oh, 10-4. All right.
Well, the one day I was gonna make an impulse purchase on a freezer for my garage, which I wasn't even sure what I was gonna keep in there, but maybe if.
Here's a bullshit story from yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
Here's a bullshit story that fucking had me riled the fuck up. So, we get to Disney Springs. We go to Chicken Guy because Guy Fieri's chicken finger restaurant is fucking phenomenal.
I like how, like, of all the words that you actually nail, and all the fucking words that you absolutely fucking butcher in pronunciation, that Guy Fieri, you put the little extra, like, flair on, and the little Italian boppity boop on, but pronounce Euro or God, I don't even know what. Everything's like a fucking.
I'm a monster.
You're like the alphabet murderer over there with your fucking words. And now, Guy Fieri. That's important enough to know and get right.
It is if you've ever had their chicken.
Holy shit! I'm surprised you didn't walk in here with fucking backwards sunglasses and spiked blonde hair.
It gives you pause when you bite into those chicken tenders. You're like, maybe my life hasn't been lived to its fullest. Maybe. I need my Oakleys.
Is it better than fucking like a Zaxby's?
Yes.
Oh, okay, you said that really quickly.
Yes. Yes. It's the best. It's the best chicken tender that I've ever had. And it's worth going out of our way for half the time. But anyway.
Okay. What are your top 5 chicken tenders?
Oh, let's see.
I feel like this is something that you could rattle off pretty quickly.
It's Chicken Guy. I'm a big Zaxby's guy. We know we know we're good with Zaxby's.
Because you're kind of well traveled.
I love Flashback.
Oh my God, you're going local.
Well, yeah,
you're going
I have
small
to.
business. I thought you were gonna like name some chain out in Texas or something. Oh, look at you now. Your eyes are.
No, really. I mean, chicken like Bojangles has good chicken.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
See, we're learning things here.
I'll eat Churches. I'm not big, Churches is all right. I like Popeyes. I don't ever understand the fucking hype, but I mean it's good chicken.
For chicken tenders, or did you brand?
No, no. Popeyes chicken tenders are fucking are good. It's expensive as fuck. I don't understand why Popeyes is so expensive, but whatever. It's fucking good food. I will tell you this: if you see me with a fucking box of KFC. I couldn't find anything else, and I'm starving, and I need to eat something. And fuck it, they were the only thing available.
We used to get Popeyes all the time when we worked in a comic book store. We'd go drive down the road, down Broward Boulevard, into the hood, and that. See, it's not racist, but it could be a racist observation to say that it's like one of the hoodier areas of Fort Lauderdale, like on Broward.
Yeah.
East of 441.
Absolutely.
Like 441 is like the dividing line. It gets better on one side, it gets worse as you go the other. And like there's a strip on Broward Boulevard that literally has 3 chicken joints, one after another. And if you drive by there with the windows down for like a good mile, all you get is like a nose full of fried chicken.
No, there's nothing about it. Listen, the quality of the quality of flavor and taste in soul food doesn't mount. It's so much better.
My point is that. After making that borderline observation, is that we used to get Popeyes all the time because it was close, and I would always get like the spicy fried chicken, but the red beans and rice is like the secret that nobody knows about.
It's all their sides, man. They're mashed.
No.
Because I really like Popeyes.
It's the red beans and rice.
Oh, red beans and rice. Because I really like.
You say that you
green beans, man.
You keep interrupting as if you're someone that's never had the red beans and rice before.
I have not.
I figured that out when you kept trying to put an end to my put over here.
Right.
The red beans and rice is like worth the drive from anywhere.
Yeah.
For if you're gonna go, I'm gonna go into Popeyes. It should be first and foremost for the red beans and rice, and then what main am I putting around my side?
It just annoys me because because you took Popeyes and people are like, you ever had the chicken sandwich? Oh my gosh, so good. Blah, 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 blah." And I always get mad about that. I'm like, motherfucker, listen, I don't give a fuck.
They're all
Wendy's
different.
is the standard.
They're all yes. The my
Wendy's is
I love the
standard
Wendy's spicy chicken.
It has not been dethroned, and I don't see it being dethroned anytime
I don't know.
soon.
I think they're all different. I think I like the spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, but it's a totally different
It's too
flavor.
small.
It's
Too
brined
small.
in pickles. It's a totally
Yeah.
different deal.
I love Chick-fil-A food, but it's like why I don't go to Mission Barbecue. I don't like eating I don't like eating appetizers for a main course.
Right. If you're gonna charge me $10 for a sandwich, I better get $10 worth of sandwich.
You know, fucking like 3 fucking strips of fucking brisket. Well, you know.
Oh yeah, that Mission Barbecue place is.
Yeah, I mean the food is good. It's like Chick-fil-A. The food is good, but fucking where's the rest of it?
But they don't need our business.
No, they don't.
They've totally catered to the
Yeah, we're not a firefighter or a police officer.
response service crowd,
Yeah.
the police, paramedics,
Yeah.
military. And I think they're military owned. And
Yeah.
so and they offer like a 20% discount if
Yeah,
you can
they get crazy.
prove you're in one of those occupations. So like that's the real price.
Yeah.
And that's the real like we're paying over retail pretty much.
Yeah.
We're being punished for not being having served
Service member, yeah.
or being a first responder.
Well, I got Crohn's, bitch. I tried. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah, or being a first responder. So now we got to pay like a premium, and it's not worth the premium.
No. Not around here where there's so plenty of barbecue places.
It's interesting. There's a lot of good barbecue places in Fort Lauderdale, in South Florida. I don't say Fort Lauderdale, but South Florida.
And some of the best barbecues, the side of the road smokers.
There's a lot of that, but I mean within I mean not right where we are now, but like in Fort Lauderdale or like even in our area, like the Georgia Pig and Tom Jenkins, and I mean there's a couple that are like I think would make top 50 lists for the country, maybe even top 20, and they're all right here. You know,
I have eaten at one of the top 10
elsewhere
around the country.
Yeah.
When I was in Brady, Texas, it's called the Hard 8.
Hard, like HARD.
Yeah.
And the number 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hard 8.
Is that like a biker joint?
No. Okay, so Brady, Texas is like the geographic center of Texas. And I was out there building a sand plant when I was an electrician. And it's got a population.
It's like Texas's belly button.
Yeah, it's got like a population of like 500 fucking people. Like it's got a Walmart and Mexicans, and that's it. And branches. There's a lot of ranches out there because, I mean, that's actually where I met. That's actually where I figured out that deer got above 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Florida, you get key deer, and like even
Those
out
are little.
Markham Park, there's little deer. Like I always thought deer. Like I watched Bambi, and I'm like, oh well, those they draw them big, but I know deer. Deer aren't that big, and like zoos don't have like domestic deer because nobody wants to fucking see that shit.
You probably hit one with a car going to the zoo.
So I'm out in the middle of fucking Brady, Texas. I think I'm flying to a wrestling show. I think I'm flying to Dallas. Yeah, I'm driving to Dallas. It's like 2. No, I'm driving from a show. It's 2 in the morning.
I was gonna say flying. Whoever flew you for a wrestling show?
No, I flew myself, sir. See, I spent a lot of money when I was out there.
Oh,
but I was making a lot of money.
You
so it
fucking
didn't
Mark.
I it was come back to hang out with everybody because I'd spend fucking months on the road and wouldn't see nobody.
Yeah.
And I'm coming back, and I just remember, and if anybody like who's been out in the fucking desert and shit, ain't no fucking thing out there. You can see every star in the sky, so like you can see the landscape, which there's nothing. It's fucking tumbleweeds and cacti, and that's it. And then off in the distance on the road, like 3. Oh, here we go. I had a little life at the end there.
Sometimes I try and
Yeah.
do like a two-tone thing.
That was very the melody was nice on that one. So I'm driving off and I just see a few lumps in the road. I don't know what the fuck they are. And I'm like, are they stopped cars? I'm like it's miles ahead of me. And I'm like, what the fuck are those things? And the closer I get, the more I realize they're living creatures. And I'm like, the fuck is there? what the fuck are there rhinos? I'm like, what the what
Rhinos? Where the hell?
What is so big out there? Because I could only see shadows in the distance, and I'm like, is there an escape farm? What the fuck's happening? You know, and I know that in Texas, there's more captive tigers in Texas than like the whole world.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah,
seeing kangaroos and one-armed monkeys.
So I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my god, did a bunch of animals escape, and am I going to be able to get through? You know, I'm driving I had my Impala at the time.
How does just a random like drive through Texas? Does your mind go to like escaped exotic animals?
It's 2 a.m. I just flew in. I'm tired as fuck. I got to work in the morning. I have about 4 hours of sleep. I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. And there's something in the middle of the fucking road, miles ahead, and all I see is lumps. There's no car, nothing. I'm the only living thing in this sector of fucking reality. And I get closer, and I realize I start to see antlers, and I'm like, are those fucking moose? The fuck are moose doing in Texas? Don't know what's happening. As I get closer, I realize they're fucking deer, but they weigh about 1,300 pounds. And I'm like, oh my god, those are what real deer look like. Like, I'd never seen real deer before. And they are fucking huge.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything, bro. Holy shit. And we have segued so far off my story.
I don't even remember what your story was.
So, chicken tenders.
Oh.
But after that.
I wonder what deer tenders would taste like.
Probably really fucking good.
All right.
Venison is good. I know that.
Is it? I don't know.
It's like I've had buffalo and venison. They're both there's whatever fucking Publix. You know, every now and then they're like, hey, look, venison meat. And I'm like, I'll try it. When I was, big into being in shape and shit. Now
both those are just big.
Before the dawn of Sigourney Weaver. So we left the fucking chicken place, and apparently Dave and Nick did not like the fact that we ate Chicken Guy because they dislike Chicken Guy. They also hate happiness, puppies, and all that other sorts of stuff. And Dave's like, all right, well, we'll make you pay for that. And we went to the Coke place, and he made me pay for that, and I paid with my body and soul, drinking all that fucking sugar. But afterwards, Nick's like, hey, there's this cool little bar that I want to try. And I'm like, F it, cool. I'll have a few drinks, not a big deal. At this point, I'm still driving home. I'm like, I can have a drink or two and drive home. It'll probably help. My feet are fucking hurting from walking through this, 10, 15 miles at the park. We go to this little hideaway bar in Disney Springs. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It doesn't matter. We're grown adults. I don't look at the prices of drinks anymore because I don't order fancy, crazy drinks. So our waitress comes up to us and she's like, "Hey, what are you having?" And me and the wife tend to drink the same thing. So I'm like, "Okay, they had Gentleman Jack." I'm like, two Jack and Cokes. Okay, cool. All right, no problem. She brings back 2 straight shots of Jack in each glass with 1 giant fucking ice cube. And I wanted to argue and say something. The wife's like, no, it's fine, we can drink it. I'm like, all right, whatever. So, the fucking Gentleman Jack and fucking rocks. Nice. Dude, those molds for ice cubes, apparently Dave said we can find them online. We got to. Oh, my God, they're phenomenal. But anyway, so we're there for like 20 minutes.
What, large ice molds?
Yeah, they're like huge ice.
Yeah. I have them in the fridge.
Oh, do you?
Like it's a big circle.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay.
And the way that
it's so funny.
And the way that they form their glasses is like the ice never sits in the bottom of the glass. Like there's like a half round bump in the bottom. So it's like you're always, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm familiar with all this.
Okay. I'm not. I'm an animal. So
you're a knuckle dragger.
Yes, I really the fuck am. So I'm like, oh, this is like fucking. This is awesome. And I start seeing the prices of the food, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this place fucking high end. Holy shit. Well, I got a fucking shot of Jack. Not really all that worried. And Dave got a drink or two.
What are they, $20 a piece?
Motherfucker, I spent $40 fucking on 2 shots of fucking Gentleman Jack.
So I guess right. Yeah, I was right.
I lost my goddamn mind. And thankfully the wife's like, here. I'll pay for mine. You pay for yours. I'm so mad. I'm so unimpressed
with that offer too. She should have said, "I'll pay for it."
Well, no. She actually paid for a lot this trip.
All right.
Because
she pays for it in other ways.
I just by mere presence most of the time, is enough of a fucking sentence. Uh-oh. Got some bubble guts there, buddy?
I don't know what's going on. Things are emotion.
So, yeah. I paid $20 for a fucking shot of fucking Gentleman Jack, and I trailed off. Oh, we're gonna have to
The trick is to get the mic out from under there
yeah.
before before the little muffler thing here absorbs the stink.
Gonna have to aerate that.
Did we gain listeners or lose listeners on this podcast?
We'd have to have them to lose them, so we can only gain, man.
That's right. Well, we have 12 or 11.
But yeah. Oh my god, because I have this rule: if I go into a place that doesn't look like I belong, which is a place where a drink would cost that much money, I don't go. I like dive bars. I like that kind of shit.
Yeah, but Disney, everything's expensive, and everyone's dressed like they don't belong anywhere.
Yeah, that's fucking true. It just, oh my god, I was so mad. I'm like, if I'm gonna spend fucking $40 on alcohol, I'm getting a buzz.
That ain't happening. You
No.
gotta listen at Disney. You gotta flask it.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but that sucked. That pissed me off, and even more so was like, so our waitress was there, but the moment she realized that we were just ordering like a few drinks, we saw her just for the check. Mm-hmm. And I understand that there were 10 people in this fucking bar. It's like there's no reason.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when everything's so overpriced, your 15 to 20% goes up, so you don't even have to have that many customers or give that great of a service. Because I'm guessing half of the Disney places automatically add a minimum because there's so many dirtbag foreigners that don't believe in tipping.
Only in parties of more than like I think 4 or 6.
Okay. Well, you were 4, so.
No, well, we were separate checks, so we weren't, and there was no gratuity.
Oh.
I am always a generous tipper. You have to piss me off for me to tip less than 20%. Like 20% is my go-to. I'm going to give you 20%.
Well, 20% is standard.
Well, it's standard now.
Don't get so
Well, it's standard
excited
now,
with throwing the G word around.
Well, it's standard now, but like I always give 25, 20, 25. Like I'll give like.
Oh, here we go.
Like when I go to Hibachi,
not 2025.
Like when I go to Hibachi, I'll leave 25%, and I'm handing the cook a $20 bill.
Oh ho ho. I'm gonna just cook hibachi for you from now on.
because they fucking they work hard for and the effort is it's there. You're a waitress, you have a hard job. 25%, it's fucking standard, man. I got mad that it's like she didn't even come over at some, because at some point I'm like, man, you know what? Because I still didn't know the prices, wouldn't think about it. So I'm just like, man, maybe I do want another drink, something with a little bit of flavor, so I don't have fucking pure Jack Daniels on my fucking throat. Like I'm not a fucking 60-year-old fucking biker in a bar. Like I like like my throat not to taste like fucking danger. And I go to flag her down once or twice, and she just fucking wouldn't come around. But it did come around. Uh-oh. No. You're playing with the devil now, buddy.
I'm done.
But, yeah, she didn't come around, so I only tipped her I think I tipped her 18%. It was available on the thing. It was like 15, 18, 20. And I'm like, we were 10 people in this fucking bar. You passed us several times. You could just say, hey, man. Just once, and like we were there for like 25 minutes because at some point Dave went to the bathroom and got lost because you had to walk through like 2 or 3 doors, and then he just has a terrible sense of direction. So we were just sitting there, basically waiting on either the checks or him, and he came first, and then the check came like 10 minutes later, and I was just pissed at that point. Like, you gotta show some fucking effort, man. You got to show some fucking effort. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it, but you work at Disney. We're not the only people that just come in for a drink or two. Like, that's 90% of the clientele that sit at this bar come in for like a drink or two and then pop and go to the next place. There's like 24 places at fucking Disney Springs to go to for drinks, and food and stuff. And a lot of people, they sample place to place. So I was like, you can't just sit there and just be like, you're probably making decent money working here. I don't know. I'm really like this. It bothered me. It bothered me so much so that I'm getting into it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, like their filet mignon was a $65 plate. I should have known at that moment not to go in that door, not to walk in, and just go. Nah, man. Let's
It's a good sign the drinks are gonna be expensive.
Yeah, that's a fucking wonderful sign. An 8-ounce filet mignon is fucking $65.
Don't you love when your friends want to go to ridiculously expensive places?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have too many bougie fucking people in my life.
Yeah. I know. I could think of 2 or 3 of on your life. All right. So I'm gonna wrap it up.
Oh, you gotta poop.
I didn't want to say anything. Plus,
okay.
we got the Dolphin game coming up.
We do have the Dolphin game coming up. And I got another friend coming over. So
Oh.
yeah, Kevin's coming over.
Oh, look at you balancing relationships here.
I'm about to go eat some probably some Shorty's barbecue.
Speaking of fancy fucking bougie tastes, that guy.
Well, he knows better around me. He knows I can't that shit. Like the standing rule with us. If we go to a place where it plays more than $50, you're buying my dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, because he knows if he asks me, I'm not gonna tell him no.
Yeah. I just know I lost that bet to him, and it was a $200 meal.
At a fucking terrible steakhouse.
Morton's, right?
Was
that it?
I was so under fucking
Yeah,
whelmed.
that was
So
bad.
underwhelmed.
At least we didn't have to wear jackets in there.
I don't think I've ever.
That would have been like insult on top of
Yeah.
humiliation.
It would have been like if we ended up going to Vegas and you had to give Disco the shirt.
Oh,
You had to get the shirt from Disco in person.
no.
Is that still in the plans?
No, my punishment still exists.
Yeah.
And now I think it's been compiled into that this humiliation is on hold until we're in Vegas.
Oh, we have put that pause then until Vegas. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, unless I just decide to do it and preempt everything, and he can call foul all he wants, but
AJ's gonna get so mad at you.
yeah. Well, then it's almost worth doing.
I mean, he's probably looking forward to this moment.
He is, but unless he's gonna put together a Vegas trip real soon, I don't.
Yeah, I don't see.
I
that
don't know.
happen.
There might be listen. Maybe there's a 1-year like time expiration on this penalty, and if I quietly wait for that year to go by, I won't have to humiliate myself.
Speaking of which, is October. We got what, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away
Till what?
till the meetup.
Oh yeah, the orgy. You don't want me getting that.
I don't want to use that word.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous word around me.
Besides, now I'm getting the cold sweats.
So all right, let's get going. Till
Listen,
then.
when I tried to fart that third time and we had to abort.
Yeah. You
Oh
can
my
tell.
God. Hold on, hold on.
No, it's a bad idea.
Oh, you're right. It is a bad idea. All right.
Okay, bye.
I'm doing the dance.